We have about a minute left. All right, please begin. Hello, my name is Bridget Eichenberg.
And I am Neil Dupuy.
And this is For the Love of Adventure.
The explorations, encounters, and exchanges of Martin and Osa Johnson. The Roaring Twenties was a time of economic prosperity in the United States. The First World War had ended, and Americans were finally able to celebrate their victory. Advancements in travel made it possible for more people to explore the world.
With the passage of the 19th Amendment, women gained the right to vote. With this new right came a social change for women. They began to explore their new position in society and exchanged traditional roles and careers for new and exciting ones. This is the story of one of those women, Osa Lee, who with her husband Martin Johnson would begin a career of exploration and adventure that would span 6 presidents and endure times of plenty and depression.
The Johnsons explored exotic places, had many unusual encounters, and exchanged customs and ideals with native peoples. They recorded their adventures using motion picture cameras and would become the first documentarians of modern times, providing the world with a glimpse at strange lands and unfamiliar creatures that they had never seen before. What are you working on?
I just heard a report that the Explorers Club in New York is not allowing women to become members. Maybe we should do a story on this.
Are there even any women explorers who have been denied membership?
Yes. Osa Johnson, for one. She has spent the last 4 years living in the Solomon Islands and other exotic places. She and her husband were captured by cannibals while exploring. I'm really surprised you're not more familiar with them.
I know who they are. I just can't imagine why a dog would want to live a life like that. And for goodness sakes, leave that old Explorers Club alone. Can there be one less bastion of male chauvinism left in this country? How does the old saying go? They talk about a woman's sphere as though it has a limit, yet there is not a spot on sea or shore without a woman in it. Good luck with your article.
How much longer will women have to encounter attitudes such as this? I will write this article. It'll be a feature story about how these two have traveled the world filming disappearing cultures and exotic animals. I can help them spread their message of preservation. The work of an explorer is vitally important, whether you are a man or a woman. And recognition should not depend on one's gender.
I have been home just 4 months, and as soon as I can, I am going back. If there ever was a place that could be called God's country, that place is Africa. In my heart dwelled a yearning for adventure. I did whatever it took to travel, even if it meant taking a job as a cook on Jack London's voyage to the Pacific Ocean. I was a terrible cook, but that experience changed my life forever. On the expedition, I was moved. I was inspired to document the primitive tribes and their way of life. I began photographing the animals, the people, and their natural environment. Seeing these cultures reminded me of the Native Americans in the U.S., whose culture had been all but destroyed by modern civilizations. Growing up in the plains of Kansas, I had witnessed some of it. Herds of buffalo had almost become extinct. I wanted to do what I could to help the natives of the South Seas avoid the same fate. While on a photo display after the voyage, I was traveling through a small town in Kansas. There, I met a beautiful girl named Osa. The look on her face when she saw my pictures was a mixture of shock and disgust. But she had a sparkle in her eye. I knew that she had a longing to see these things for herself. Osa was for sure the girl for me. I married her, and off we went. 2 weeks from today, Osa and I shall board ship with our faces pointing towards Africa. This time with motion picture cameras. We will tell the whole story of a country, its people, and its animals. And we will show the natives at war, at peace, at work, and at play. And we will show the animals not hunted and afraid, but natural and unaware, untroubled by men. It is no easy task I have set for myself, I know it, but I have been preparing for this for nearly 20 years. With Osa by my side, we can bring the mysterious African continent to the rest of the world.
If you had told me that I would grow up to leave behind my life and family in Kansas, to travel across the world and explore and photograph all of my adventures, I'm not sure I would have ever believed you. Girls from Schnute like me were supposed to follow the placid expectation that we would grow up, marry, raise a family, and die without ever leaving the town. But little did I know, my husband and I would do the exact opposite of that. I met Martin at a photo display of his trip to the South Seas. He had documented the story of real-life cannibals. I found some of his photos quite repulsive, but I was mesmerized by his tales. I loved his courage and sense of adventure and longed to be a part of it. Soon after, we were married. We would soon be exploring places like the Solomon Islands, Borneo, and the African Congo. I never dreamed I would be cuddling a baby monkey or coming face to face with the fiercest of beasts. Folks back home thought it was outlandish and even selfish that I would dare to toss aside the role of a traditional life to explore the world and make movies. But this was my opportunity to show the world that a woman can make her own choices and chart her own path in the wild and in life.
November 25th, 1925, Nairobi. At dawn, our group set up at a waterhole about 15 kilometers from camp. We waited for hours and hours, and to our delight, we were treated to a day with the pride of lions. As I cranked away at the camera, I had no idea how close to death we had really come.
Very close. Martin Johnson, I thought I lost you today. When I saw the lion charging at you, I had to shoot.
I'm sorry, Osa, but a lion charges at a speed unequaled by any other animal on the planet. It was the most beautiful yet terrifying sight I have ever seen.
Martin, you know I only kill an animal for food, never for sport. But the lion came tearing down upon us, teeth bared.
But you didn't flinch. Osa, you are the bravest woman I have ever met. I can't imagine being on this trip without you. It's beyond me how anyone could ignore your contributions to our work. If those old men in the Explorers Club could see you on safari today, they could never deny you membership into their club.
Martin, our work is too important to be distracted by those old men and their closed-minded way of thinking. Men have been trying to keep women in their place for centuries. I suppose I should be sitting in Kansas right now, pining away for a letter. But I think God intended a woman to work beside a man as his helpmate. And here we are, me beside you, doing just that.
We sure do make a good team. I'll go check the supplies.
As Eleanor Roosevelt said, do what you feel in your heart to be right, for you'll be criticized anyway. I am doing what is in my heart. I am living the life I want to live, as all women should be able to do.
For nearly 30 years, our names are synonymous with adventure and exploration. Together, we authored 9 books, wrote hundreds of articles, took thousands of pictures, and produced 9 motion picture documentaries.
We were the first to fly over the magnificent Mount Kilimanjaro and Mount Kenya and filmed them from the air. I piloted the plane while Martin captured the never-before-seen pictures.
After trekking through the most inhospitable parts of Kenya, we put the elusive Lake Paradise on the map. Because of our extensive knowledge and experience, we helped to create the African wing in the Museum of Natural History. Our films and photos remain on exhibit there to give the world a window into the continent of Africa.
On January 12, 1937, our lives would forever change when a plane transporting us back from one of our expeditions would crash in California.
I would not survive.
I was devastated, but I did not let our work or our dreams die with Martin. I continued to explore the world and educate others on the principles of preservation. The years Martin and I dedicated to these concepts would inspire a new generation of advocates, such as Marlon Perkins, Jack Hanna, and Jane Goodall to continue our work. The foundation Martin and I laid led to laws and regulations that would protect species from extinction that are still in action today.
Through our exploration, we exchanged traditional careers for lives of adventure, which was especially uncommon for women.
Many would criticize me for not fulfilling the role of a good woman. But my encounters with foreign lands and native people forever made me a stronger explorer, a stronger woman. With our cameras, we blazed a trail.
All for the love of adventure.